we'd like to sincerely thank our Patreon supporters.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? It is about 3:30 in the afternoon, and I'm good with goals. If I set a goal, I'm pretty stinking good about making it. And I want the chickens out of that play area. So we started the chicken coop in a past video. Nothing else really has been done with it, other than I got the screen hung on the front, sides, back, and stuff like that. I want to finish this by end of day tomorrow. So whatever I could finish in the next couple hours, if it doesn't rain today, and then tomorrow, full steam ahead, I want to finish this coop. And that's laying boxes, the deck inside, the ramp, the roof, all of it. So I have it marked for the doorway up top. I have a 4x6 at 26 inches. That will be my threshold. And I think I explained, this is not the board, but I will put a corral board with screen behind it and 18 inches out below the grass with the grass put back over it. And that will stop things from digging into the coop. And I've already marked for the roof trusses. I'm gonna run 2x4s across every 2 feet. And then, I forget what you call these boards, bucks maybe, that help support them and keep them straight, dead center. I don't think I need any more than that. The roof material that I'm using is a farm grade that's sold at the local feed store. It's a very heavy gauge. So for this 12-foot run, we're gonna get 14-foot panels. They're 30 inches wide, and they've got a lot of like good corrugation on them. They're very sturdy and strong. I don't think we're gonna have any issues because it's also 1 foot. The pitch is 1 foot and 12 feet. And I'm sure if you were figuring out the pitch, I think it's in, I don't know how they measure it, inches and feet or something like that. They don't do it by 12 feet, but I'm just telling you the entire pitch that I have here. So I'm gonna get that wood up, and then I'm gonna work on the doorway, the board here, get the rest of the screen. I would love to get the rest of the screen up today. So tomorrow it's just this structure, stopping animals from digging in and such, because as soon as we get this done, the chickens out of that front area, that also means the quail out of this. We can get the first quail area, which I think will take 2 males and 20 females. And then we're gonna start going through the quail, figuring out which ones we're gonna keep. Some of those quail are about 3 years old, according to my buddy who gave them to me. And I mean, they're pretty much at the end of their laying eggs fast enough or efficient enough. So I'm gonna get started. I'll show you guys after I get those roof trusses done. All right, now I have, as you can see behind me, all the roof trusses done. And now I've got it all marked for all those little supporting bucks that will stiffen everything up, tie them all together. I have all my measurements written down right here across there. I'm gonna go get them cut, and what am I gonna do next? I guess the doorway. That way I can finish the screen today. So let me get that done. Okay guys, all the bucks are done, and I have the door post in, the door threshold of 4x6, so that'll be nice and sturdy. And remember, when I do that screen, it has to go across the entire front. Not this board, I'm just using it as a straight edge, but a corral board will go right across it and continue on, because I don't want a predator digging in here, there, or anywhere. So that gives me a place to screw that board on, and it keeps everything nice, straight, level, and everything. This is a high point, so I'm gonna have to dig this down. When I do that board, that's a low point. I'll have to continue it level, so I'll have to remove more dirt over this high point, and then it becomes a low point over there. I also got this 4x4 in here, and now I'm ready to hang this screen. I have a scrap to do that little piece there, and then I need to pull out some of my old materials for this. I have the lids, I believe, from these. And so I need to figure out exactly how I had these laid out and where the top height of it will be. And then I can finish screening that last little bit, because I want to get the rest of the screen on today and possibly trim out the door casing and get the door hung, maybe even. That would be amazing. Okay, it's the end of the day. Was it like 7:30? Yeah, it's the end of the day for sure. I've got all of the screen hung. So now we're done hanging screen, and I have some of the frame, more of the framework. I'll need to have some wood going up at an angle. And I realized that I have all this wood that's already painted. It's all pressure treated lumber, but it was painted for some of the stuff that was exposed so it lasts. The last time I had the nest boxes on the 12-foot side, and over here we're putting it on the front, the 10-foot side. So now I may have to cut up some of my other good lumber, because it's not going to work now. It's not long enough what we have. And I'm thinking that I'm not going to finish it by my deadline, because as usual, something else came up. Finishing another video, which is coming out first, moving the female sulfurs, and there was a great opportunity where the male and female sulfur were up against the screen at each other, and I was like, perfect, I'm going to open the door at the end of the day. I never put a door between those two enclosures. So first thing tomorrow morning, I need to build the door, as you'll see, or already would have seen in the previous video. I'll build that door. So hopefully we have good news with that. That would be amazing. And it's definitely worth doing and pushing this back another day. So I think tomorrow the goal will to be finishing the nest boxes and the deck and the ramp. I think the roof metal will be for another day. No big deal. One more day is not a big deal. Another week is a big deal. All right, we'll be back at it tomorrow. All right, now we're making some progress. We have the entire deck done inside here with a lot of spacing. That way when we rinse off, the chickens are gonna mess on this. They're actually gonna spend quite a bit of time up on this. It can be hosed off and cleaned and drained to the ground quite easily. Now, in the lay box, we have the floor done, but it's much tighter because obviously I don't want the gaps for rodents to be able to come in. Now, I still have this gap here, but this doesn't matter. This is into their enclosure. So I need to start framing for the roof sections, and then we actually have to do the corral boards on the sides and the face of this. So that's the next big step, is to finish the frame of this so we can get the corral boards on the face and sides of it. As I'm totally repeating myself, I'm gonna get to it. All right, so I totally lied about meeting my goal. Yeah, there's always something going on, whether it was weather, other animals. Saturday I meant to work on it, but I had a surf ski race, and I went and raced, and then this morning breakfast with the family. So to Sunday afternoon, now I'm back at it, and the nesting box is now built. This plywood is just sitting on top. It will be hinged. It will be painted 2 coats both sides, and it will have sheet metal on the roofs, corrugated metal. And I'll show you from the other side. It'll be hinged, and there'll be a prop right here to lift it up. There will be a 1/4 inch gap, so they're not 1000% dry. The sheet metal I'll only have go to this edge, so there'll be a gap between the lids, so there is some water that can leach in. It's mostly dry. And there will be the slight overhang from the other roof. Now, everything is soaking wet because we've also had a lot of rain. So you can see, I think I mentioned about bringing the dirt in here up a couple inches after we do the border around it. the chickens are gonna scratch, especially during the dry season, and remove a lot of dirt from here. So we need to start higher to begin with, but also I want it to stay dry. I don't want it to ever be wet where the chickens are stuck in a wet situation. But, so that is, every other one has a good strong divider, but this one will just have a short divider. So with the hay sitting in there, should be enough that this chicken isn't angry at that chicken over there. They're chickens, they're gonna be angry for no reason anyway. When they're nesting, there's always some of them that start bickering. So I gotta get that ramp, and I think now that I have these cut, I may go ahead and start painting both sides before I get the hinges on and everything. So I'm gonna get started on that, but I'm happy to have this done. And later, like I said, once this ground is somewhat leveled, I'll build a little grandstand. For now, we may have a little stool out here so Kagan can stand on, lift it up, and get the eggs in the morning. But I feel good about what we've accomplished so far. I've got to work tomorrow, the following day, go to the gym in the morning, and then pick up the sheet metal and get the roof done. And I mean, I think that day I'm gonna go as far as I can, but I believe Wednesday I'll have this 100% wrapped up. So I'm gonna get started painting those lids. All right, I'm out here another day. I got my nephew Jude with me.
Hey guys.
He's coming to help since I've been so distracted with other things in life. I got the plywood tops done. There's gonna be sheet metal on top of those to further protect it, but I did paint the wood 2 coats. I need to get them screwed on with the hinges and the lock sets. And I may even do the sheet metal on these lids after we finish this project, just to get them in there. I also have the sheet metal, so I think that's what we're gonna work on before it gets, I mean, it's stinking hot, but before it gets even hotter, I think we're gonna try and jump on the sheet metal. That way everything else inside will be in the shade. Because, I mean, it's cooler. It's cooler underneath the sheet metal. So I think we're gonna start from that side, and my overlaps will run this way. And then as I do the other roofs, I might have to unscrew a side and slide the next panel underneath or something like that. I'll figure that out. And we need to get the hay when we run out for lunch to fill the boxes. But that's what it'll look like from inside the chicken coop side. And we still need to do the ramp. So we are gonna get started. Okay, we have the lids and locks done. Simple twist. These lift up. The last thing I need to do is a little kickstand that will hold this up to about that height when you're checking for eggs. And it'll be just a simple little board with 1 screw, like a leg that you flip up and holds the door for you. We will have to grind these off, the screws penetrating, and then the sheet metal later. So we're gonna get to start on the roof.
All right guys, so Jerry's up there doing some finishing touches on the roof. But this is what we've done so far. We've got it screwed down the entire way around. And here, I'll go up the ladder to show you what Jerry's doing. It looks really good. All right. Hey Jerry, I'm coming up real quick. Here's Jerry measuring.
Shout out to all the roofers out there that do this day in and day out.
Oh yeah.
You earn your paychecks.
I can see the heat coming off of the roof. It's like an oven up there. I don't know how Jerry's doing it, but he's doing it.
Okay, I have the sides done. Jude is digging out the back. We'll see if we don't have to cut those roots out with the Sawzall, but he's just getting the grass off. Now, this side's a little messier because it's the proximity to these trees. There's so many roots. On this side, he was able to cut it out in nice clean squares. And what I'll be able to do is take these squares of sod, well, with the flat shovel. I think I should be able to get that one. Put them back. And I should be able to put all the squares of sod back. The sod's gonna shoot roots down. It's gonna hold that screen down. And any predator that wants to dig in and get to the chickens is just gonna hit this screen everywhere he tries to dig. And that screen will continue across the front of all of the enclosures, around the perimeter of all of them, all the way across the back. I don't do it on the sides because it's just a divider between the enclosures. And I just use those Tech screws that have the built-in washers. They do rust a little bit, but they're fine for this. I put a screw every 6 inches along the bottom, and that ties that all together. So the sidewall screen, the screen that's buried in the ground, and it all seals up. I'll do the screws all along the side there as well. Hay is in the nesting boxes, so we need to finish this step, and then I can work on the ramp, the purchase for them. And what else am I forgetting? Oh yeah, the chickens. Right, it's the end of the day and we are whooped, but it's 95% done. I do have to build a grandstand so you can stand up here, but I've got it where you open it up. If you had 2 hands, you'd have that kickstand there. You can go and get your eggs, put the kickstand down, again with 2 hands. Latch is shut. We can put carabiners on there to stop the raccoons from figuring it out. The door stops are finished. The pull to get out, if you lock yourself in, is there. We have roosts in 3 of the corners. A nice ramp up with traction so the chickens don't lose traction and slide down the ramp. Actually, that would be quite amusing if we didn't have that there. And the nesting boxes, a little bit of the hay on the ground. We're holding back some because Kagan was concerned that you're saying it's wheat? Or some sort of seed is on this. They're calling it straw. It was the least expensive hay we could buy. The chickens are probably gonna go crazy for all the seeds in it and maybe kick a lot of it out of the nest boxes. So we're gonna hold some back, and we're gonna try and do this quickly because the mosquitoes are firing off. This is the time of day where they get fierce, right, Pete? They're biting you on your legs. You're gonna want to get out of the way. All the chicken procession is about to begin. See Miko on the shelf. He's nice. I love it when black roughnecks get that superb dark color like that. I mean, he's as black as a black dragon, but with that amazing looking face and those really pronounced bumps on his neck. Such a cool lizard. Now she is getting them come, but she fed them really well today. She was a little concerned that it may be hard to call them all over. She's got some of them, but a lot of them aren't moving. They still have some feed on their tray.
That it's the end of the day and they think they're supposed to sleep. So, all right. Got one.
One?
Come on, girl.
Just one chicken. We built all this for one chicken.
Look, they're getting distracted by the grass.
Oh yeah. They all peeled off and they're eating all that fresh grass in there. Yeah, we may have to do this in the morning. They may be done for the day, just like us. Oh yeah, I was mentioning the other things. We're also gonna add a mosquito thing for at night. We do have a solar powered one that we're gonna move over there for tonight. I still have to do the sheet metal on top of these. Like I said, the grandstand. I will probably add a hanging water and a hanging food thing in here. So that'll be really nice. Oh, and we get to see one chicken in here. Oh, look at her. She is like heaven. That's how you know you did a good thing. Look at that. It's like she just moved into a mansion. There you go. She is like, yeah. Now the mosquitoes are like, yeah. All right, I'm gonna move the mosquito thing over there, and I think we're gonna finish this up in the morning. All right, they are all moved. I'm not gonna be, oh, And look at you getting the first clean eggs out of the nest box. They're not covered in mud.
I know, it's wild.
How nice is that? We've had to like sit there and scrub our eggs every morning in the sink, and it's pretty disgusting. Imagine if a piece of shell ended up in your scrambled eggs. The shells have been really, really gross, but without upsetting the rooster. They're in there, the turkey's in there, they're eating their food. It's going to rain for the next 2 or 3 days. We have a tropical storm just south of us. So this is gonna keep them a lot more dry. We will raise the elevation of the dirt in there so they don't get the same. Remember, this back property still had the rows from the tree farm. Low, high, low, high. We'll get them all high and the property will drain off better later, but we need to get their enclosures a little higher so they stay dry. But very exciting, right? This is something we needed to do. We still have the little final touches to do on it later, like the grandstand and the roof material and things like that, but they're in there. They're out of the play area. Mission accomplished. It's starting to rain right now, starting to rain harder. So we're gonna get inside. Until next time, everyone. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. See you soon.